Hey everybody, it's Josh. I just want to first say thanks for tuning into the Longlist. I wanted to jump in here because Jack and I recorded a bunch of these episodes before we started releasing them, and I wanted to bring that up for two reasons. First is we touch on the Oscars from last year, which at the time was an appropriate topic to talk about since the Oscars have come out and it's no longer a timely reference, but you can at least see where our heads were at the time. The second is that we have since decided to change the name of our podcast to the Longlist. So I have retroactively been going back and re-recording the intros to each of these episodes, at least for the first handful or so when we had a different name. So if the audio sounds different from when we jump into the podcast in proper, then that's the reason. It's because I'm recording the intros in two separate settings. So thanks for listening, and without further ado... Welcome to The Long List, a podcast where we celebrate movies and pop culture through the storied art of rankings. No bad opinions, no wrong answers, and hot takes always encouraged. I'm Josh Muller. With me as always, my brother Jack Muller. And today's episode is about getting to know your hosts a little more. Our main top five at the end of the episode will be a way. It's a little gimmicky, but we chose our respective birth years, 85 for me, 91 for you. Not necessarily because those are our favorite years. We just wanted to choose something we can kind of give our opinions a little bit more. So that's how today is going to work. Jack, why don't you tell people the onus of why we started this podcast and a little bit about our planned structure?
Well, we started this pretty naturally. Pretty much anytime we get together and talk about anything, we rank it as far as top fives or top threes or whatever. It's just kind of a way that we've always communicated.
Yeah, it happens naturally.
It does.
No matter what we're talking about.
And we like reading top fives, or top lists.
I like YouTubes of top lists.
Exactly. Lists are just like a thing. It just clicks with us.
Whenever someone's doing a podcast and they're like, we're going to be talking about let's get to it.
Yeah,
so.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, every week we'll be hitting you with different top fives. We'll have a theme for the episode. Not every top five. There might be some off the cusp. We might surprise each other with top fives. And then, leading up to one kind of
overall thing.
Top five.
That thing can be based on an actor's career or a director's career. It can be a genre that we want to talk about. We're going to hit different movie years. So we're going to be doing a bunch of different stuff. In the interest of that, let's get right into it. So the first one that I think this was your idea. Again, for the purpose of getting to know us a little bit more, we wanted to talk about our top 5 favorite movie experiences. This can be in theater experiences. This can be general experiences from your childhood or whatever, just your top 5 movie experiences. And I kind of want you to go first because I think you're going to talk about one. And if you don't, I will talk about it.
Okay. All right. Making this top 5 list, I realized that, there aren't a whole lot of movies in my top movies of all time that I actually, came out when I was alive or, was out when I was growing up or anything like that.
Experienced in real time.
Experienced in real time, exactly. But I don't know, the beauty of movies is it doesn't have to be the great movie. The experience is the experience. Yeah. That being said, I'll get right into it. Number 5, I have is Whiplash.
Oh,
because it is the first movie I ever saw alone in the movie theater.
You got me onto Whiplash. It was that was in my what I call like the 7-year gap of the kids being really young, and I just didn't get to the theaters and had never heard of it. You're like, you got to see Whiplash.
You got to see it, especially. I mean, in the theaters, it was just like I love this movie all the way through, and then the last scene. It's one of those last scene movies that just make it up. I have a couple last scene movies to talk about today.
I mean, the whole movie's good, but it takes it from like a B+ to like an A++.
Real fast.
I saw it on my couch and I was buzzing after that last scene.
And I mean, it's almost not even the last scene. It's literally just the last shot and the way that it hits the credits. I mean, it is the last scene, but the satisfying hit credits.
Well, the
is
whole
just
last like sequence, set piece, whatever is incredible. And then that last little bit where they share that moment, that's like what the movie's.
And I specifically
Thesis
remember
of the
I'm
movie.
just in the middle of the theater. Nobody's there because it's in the middle of the day. And I'm just like,
whiplash.
holy shit, I can't believe I'm by myself right now.
Number 4.
Number 4 is going to be There Will Be Blood.
Oh, we saw that together.
We did see that together, and yes, you do appear quite a bit in this top 5 list.
Oh,
Joshua.
very nice, very nice.
We saw it in a shabby little theater in San Francisco that was honestly kind of creepy.
Yeah, behind the Stonestown Mall,
Exactly.
which
Perfect
has since gotten a
for
facelift.
nice. Good for them.
So as I
I
understand.
just honestly I assumed it was gone.
Yeah, no, it's like they put it. I think they put it in the mall now. We're gonna have to fact check that.
Okay. There Will Be Blood. This is one of my top films of all time for sure. And I vividly remember seeing this for the first time and realizing this is the sort of movie that I like. I was in high school. I was developing, my taste in movies. And I was like, I don't know what it is, but this is it for me.
We did it.
We did it. Yeah, good job. And I remember you not being totally sold. And we usually kind of have a relatively same taste in movies. And I remember being so sold and you not being sold that I was like, wow, this is a moment for me.
Yeah, I'm there now. I've seen it, 5 or 6 times now. But at the time, it was just not what I was expecting, and it's such a visceral experience that I was just like, I don't even know what I just
Don't even know
watched.
what's going on. Yeah.
I also didn't have that much of a relationship with PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson, at that point.
Right.
I do now.
Yeah, and I can't really remember where it was in my PTA time. It was either at the beginning or it literally did start it.
Number 3.
Number 3 is going to be Eureka Video.
Oh, yeah.
Our local video store. It was less than a mile away from our house. Quintessential video store experience. I remember seeing all the movie covers throughout the years of movies that I never even saw. I remember the people working there would always have some creepy movie on. I feel like it was usually horror. Yeah, we just clean up there. It was we were there every week.
Every week.
Yeah, which brings me to my number 2, which was Friday nights. Friday nights growing up for me and Joshua were a frozen pizza, a 2-liter bottle of Coke, a rented movie from Eureka, and that's it. We would shut ourselves downstairs in our little TV room. Parents were up drinking wine, having their own, listening to music, doing their own thing. And every Friday we were there. That's what we would do.
Yeah, it's incredible.
My number 1. This is a pretty singular experience. Not a lot happened like this in my childhood.
What do you mean?
But Return of the King.
Oh, okay. So this was the one that I thought maybe you would talk about, and if you didn't talk about it, I would have. So yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I was in 8th grade, I want to say. Josh was in college? Or
yeah, if you were in 8th grade, I was in college. No, I must have been because I wasn't in school. If I was in high school, I would have been in school.
Oh, yeah, true. It was, it might have been a Wednesday because it was a premiere day.
I don't remember. I believe you.
Well, it was a weekday, and it was the premiere of
Return of the King.
Return of the King. And Josh came and picked me up early from school with permission of my parents and school. I mean, I guess they can't say anything.
And how do we get permission? I don't understand. I don't remember the.
I just don't get
story
why
behind-
any of this happens. I guess
Why
we
would that
like
be okay?
movies this much that our
guess.
parents allowed this one-time thing. We definitely liked Lord of the Rings a lot, so I don't really
Maybe
know.
it's also, I mean, when I moved to college too, that was probably the only time where we weren't like hanging out super regularly, and maybe they wanted to allow us a kind of a.
Okay, yeah.
I don't
It's a
know.
little more abstract, but yeah.
I'm getting deep here. On
Yeah,
high
that's
fives.
that could have been though. But yeah, he came. I mean, he went to the same school as I did, so he knew my 8th grade teacher. So he came into my class, in front of my class, said, "I'm here to get Jack," and we walked out together to go see
Later,
Lord of
losers.
the Rings, and went with his friends to Grand Lake Theater.
Oh, you went with the rest of us, or was it just you and me?
No, yeah, it was Graham and Cameron and somebody else. It was his solid group of friends. I was in 8th grade. It was a theater full of people. Probably one of my first like premiere experiences.
First of many.
Got taken out of school. It was just incredible. I was like, "This, what is life?" And still, still looking back, it was just like, I don't know. It's a great memory.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
One of our better options.
So that's my top 5.
Nice.
There are a million things to choose from, so I just kind of had to land on a few.
I would have chosen. I figured you would talk about that, so I didn't talk about it.
It was great.
All right, my top 5. Number 5, The Three Musketeers.
Whoa.
That's right. I saw that on my 10th birthday with my then best friends with Chris and Andrew. And I think I'm one of like 9 people that actually like this movie, probably because I saw it in the theaters on my 10th birthday.
People don't like this movie?
I know. They're crazy. I know you like this movie.
Of course.
You're number 8. You know, it's kind of clunky. It's got no one has the right accents. I get it, but like I love it. I love adventure movies, as you well know. And this is just a great adventure movie. It's so much fun. And I had a blast. And I saw it. This kind of goes with my theory that sometimes when you see movies at the right time, even if it's not objectively a good movie, like it just catches you, and that catches me. I still love it. I still watch it. My kids don't like it as much, but what are you going to do? Nobody's perfect. Still only
Didn't
9
know you
people.
saw that in the theater.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, 10th birthday. Maybe 11th. Number 4, I kind of have a general thing.
General thing.
Midnight showings. We used to do this a lot.
Yes.
We would go on a Thursday night of a big movie. They were very often, superhero Spider-Man movies or whatever the big blockbuster was. We would always go and see midnight showings of that at a certain point in our lives where we were both working at restaurants. And we would, even if we were working that night, we would still have time to get off, go to the movies, get in line. And so the specific one I have was also Return of the King. This one was not a midnight showing of the first time I saw it. Even though stay with me here.
Okay.
Most of the midnight showings we went to were I saw that movie for the first time.
Right.
But for Return of the King, why they had subsequent midnight showings, I don't know. But they did. And we played, I used to be in a band, and the band's name was Minkus. What's up? And after we played the show with Long Beach Short Bus, the former members of Sublime, who showed up crazy late and inebriated, let's say. Yes. There were 6 members in our band. We had to choose one, that being Tim, because he does not like movies, to stay and get the money for our show to the end of the show. And the rest of us, after our set, and we watched another set, and we were waiting a long time for this band to show up, we then left and went to the midnight showing of Return of the King again. So I guess that's why when you said that we were all together with those guys, I guess I didn't know that we all went and saw it
the last thing that I expected
twice.
from your top 5 was the Return of the King being on there, but not the Return of the King experience that I had.
Well, that was my most unique midnight showing. Midnight showing is the thing that I'm talking about, but that was the most unique. A, because it wasn't the first time I saw it. It wasn't the first time I saw it, and B, it was because it was after we played a show.
Yeah,
so it was just I'll always remember that.
You guys are such nerds for having seen that movie.
Still
twice.
such nerds.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we all are, I guess.
Okay, number 3 was Independence Day. I can't imagine you weren't here, but you would have been very young. It was in...
Can I say something really fast?
Please.
Alex, my girlfriend, when I brought up this list to her, the first thing she threw out was just Independence Day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, I just grew up liking that movie. I don't have a specific memory of it. And here you are with this. Okay, let's continue. That's crazy.
So... For Independence Day specifically, we went to the Chabot Theater, which only plays it only has one screen and it plays the biggest block. It's not like one of those indie movies that you play small movies. It plays the biggest blockbuster of the summer. And I remember this vividly, and I confirmed it with our parents that they did a I don't know what they called it, secret release, or it was like a pre-release. It was like on a Tuesday or something. It wasn't at midnight, but like they had the big release on Thursday, and then they had, it was like a sneak preview release. I don't know whether they did it nationwide or whatever, but our parents got, at least me, I don't know if you were there. You would have been very young, but we went to the sneak preview of Independence Day at the Chabot Theater, and I love Independence Day and was blown away.
One of my favorite Independence Day.
What?
What year is Independence Day?
I want to say 96. You can look that up.
I was 5. I doubt I saw Independence Day.
That would have
when I
been
was
early.
5.
Yeah, that would have been pretty young.
Yeah.
But like, where would you have gone?
Though I do, and
Maybe it
this
was just
almost
me and
also
Mom.
made my list, but I do have a history of seeing movies way too young. Because
well documented.
Joshua is 5.5 years older than me, so I just kind of reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, but that's an in-theater experience. I
Yeah.
don't know. But I mean, maybe it was just me and Mom that went.
Right.
You know, our dad does not like movies. Happy birthday to him, by the way. Yeah. Our dad does not like movies very much, so it's possible he didn't go, but I don't remember. I don't remember the significance of it. Okay, number 2.
I remember X-Men at the Chabot Theater. That's my biggest Chabot Theater. Anyways, continue. Number 2.
Number 2 is Endgame. We also saw that at the Grand Lake.
Yes.
And it was awesome. Crowd was buzzing, and I just remember when the portals open up at the end, it was like, you know, a sporting event. Everybody was cheering so much. It was like the most wild in-theater experience I ever had. I don't need to go on to too much about it. It was just, that part specifically was awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, it was the culmination. I mean,
it was an incredible ending, or, you know, ending to the part 1 or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're at least semi-big Marvel fans. I certainly love the Thanos storyline, and that was the ending of that. What they've done
MCU
since,
gets a thumbs up for me.
Yeah, it's great, but that was amazing.
And that was also a lot of our, to go back to midnight movies, a lot of them were MCU movies.
True, but that one wasn't midnight. I don't think it was.
No.
My number 1 experience was I Am Legend / the first 6 minutes of The Dark Knight. So to set this up, they were playing I Am Legend on IMAX, and as a preview for I Am Legend, they were going to release the
Grand Lake?
No. Huh? They were going to release the first 6 minutes of The Dark Knight if you saw it on IMAX. So I was with my college roommate, Kevin Johnson, and another friend of ours who I lost touch with named Myron Baggett. And I was like, I got to go see this movie. Are you guys in? And they were like, whatever, we're not doing anything. So we took the Muni line down Market, and they were doing construction, and it stopped at Church Street. And for those of you who don't know, we were seeing it at the Metreon. For those of you who don't know, that's what, a mile, half a mile, 3/4 of a mile away?
Definitely a mile.
It's significant.
Yeah,
and we got off the bus or the train, and the bus wasn't coming for 45 minutes. We were going to miss the movie. So we ran down Market Street. I'm going to say it was in the rain. Can't confirm that. I don't remember. It's better for the story. It was definitely in the rain. Raining. And this was before the time where you could pick your seats out for IMAX. And we got there like right as the show was starting. And the only 3 seats left were dead middle, front row. And so we were sitting, looking up, looking at this movie. And we made it. And we saw the first 6 minutes of The Dark Knight. And it was incredible.
The first 6 minutes of The Dark Knight are incredible.
Worth the price of admission alone. And then we watched I Am Legend, which is fine, whatever. But that's my favorite movie story that I have.
Yeah, I remember that happening for you. I remember being like, I'm not going to see I Am Legend.
yeah, that's fair.
But
you doesn't age well. Oh, yeah, but that alone was worth it. So that was my favorite movie.
I like it.
All right. Did you see anything interesting this week?
I'm deep into Severance right now. So that's all I'm thinking about.
I would call that a yes.
Yes. So yes, I watched Severance a lot.
Follow-up question: did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did watch the Super Bowl. Yeah, it was really boring.
Yeah. Did you know that I did not watch the Super Bowl because I got childcare that day and bought movie tickets, not realizing it was. We're not big football guys, so I just immediately, I got childcare. Let's go see a movie. Mm-hmm. So I bought tickets, and then as we get there that day, I realized, shit, it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I bet it was pretty empty at the theater.
It actually had a lot of, well, not a lot, but more than I thought.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense if you're not.
So just to show what kind of manly man I am, instead of watching the Super Bowl, I went to see The Brutalist.
Nice. What'd you think?
It was good. I liked it a lot.
How was being in the movie theater for 3.5 hours?
That was fine. They had an intermission. I didn't mind that. I wanted to see
intermission?
Yeah, it's built-in intermission. Yeah, it's good. I don't want to. You haven't seen it yet, right?
No.
I don't want to say too much about it. It's sort of being propped up as like the bastion of proper movie making and director's final cut. I agree with all that, but I had built it up a lot in my mind, and I'm not sure it quite lived up to what I thought it was. And it is very long, and I don't really care about the length of a movie, but I don't want it to feel long. And I thought the second half was a little bit clunkier than the first, and it did start to feel long at the end. I'm nitpicking because I thought it was really good, but it wasn't like this year I thought as a year of movies that very few movies separated themselves from the pack for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping this would be one that was like, okay, there's your Oscar winner.
Right.
And it didn't get there for me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Yeah, that's what it is.
I can see that.
Yeah. So speaking of the Oscars, should we talk about some Oscars a little bit? I don't know when we're going to release this, but
Yeah.
if before we do another one, Oscars could be old news. So
True.
I think we should touch a little bit. I got some top 5 Oscar storylines for you.
Okay.
Are you ready? First thing is, Best Actor race is pretty much down to 2. I got it as Adrian Brody versus Timothée Chalamet. Do you have an opinion?
I think Chalamet gets it.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen both of those movies. Adrian Brody is really good. He's already won an Oscar.
Different than The Pianist?
Well, I mean, the movie's different.
Right.
It is different, but it's
his
similar.
Role,
right.
Does he explore significantly different?
I would say yes, but I see your point, and it's a very big melodramatic movie, which he's already won for. And Timothée Chalamet is a rising star in Hollywood who is, try as you might to dislike him, which I don't. He makes really good movies. He's really good. Yeah. And he's really good in Complete Unknown.
McConaughey's?
No.
Yeah, he released just like a video praising his performance, and it's just very Matthew McConaughey, and he's just like, it's funny that he decided to make a whole video of himself just like talking about it. But he says, yeah, from the first moment you just like realize that,
do your thing, McConaughey. Yeah, he's great, and I'm not big on like how do I say this? I'm not big on like biopics necessarily because sometimes it can just be an imitation, but he's fantastic and he's doing all the singing. It's just wonderful. That's who I would choose. And that's, I think if I'd probably, 55% sure he gets it.
In Oscar land, I think he gets it.
The only thing working against him is that he's very young still and clearly
that's
excellent.
Working for him.
Well, my point is that I think a lot of voters will think at least that, we'll give it to him eventually because he's clearly going to win one. But to that point, Adrian Brody has already won one.
Well, and Timothée Chalamet's been in like 20 movies like in the past 5 years.
Good ones.
All of good ones. Yeah. And hasn't won yet or anything.
Storyline number 2. Do you think Demi Moore can get to the finish line on her Oscar campaign? Do you think she wins for Best Actress for the movie The Substance?
I don't know. I think that one's up in the air more. I think Homegirl from
Brazil.
Yes,
I don't have her name on the top of my head. Look it up. I think I agree. I think she wins. She gave a great speech at the Golden Globes. I haven't seen the movie. I got to be honest. I hear it's really good, but it's labeled as body horror, and that's just not my thing. I hear like the last half hour to 45 minutes is straight up gross. So I'm contemplating watching it, but it's like at the bottom of my list of movies to watch for the Oscars. But
Fernanda Torres.
There you go. Oh yeah, she won. She won too at the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Mikey Madison is also really good. She won't win.
She's really good. She might.
Yeah, she might. And so is Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah, I haven't been hearing a lot of buzz for her.
No, but she was good.
But anyway, if I had to pick, I think I would pick Demi Moore. Just because it's a great story. People will like it. AI in movies is my next storyline. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I've heard about it. I actually haven't done too much. I don't. Tell me more about it.
Well, so the main one, it's been in a couple movies, but the main one is The Brutalist used it in, so far as I know, so don't get mad at me if I get this wrong, people of the world, but so far as I know, they used it to help the actors better pronunciate the Hungarian language when they were speaking in Hungarian, which is apparently historically a very difficult language to master. They say it didn't affect the performances, but, if you're helping...
Sounds like it does.
Yeah, it sounds like it does. And then the other thing is they used it to do some blueprints for some of the architectural blueprints that they show in the movie. Like, not like Like they
okay.
show actual blueprints, and they
Okay.
used it to kind of mock those up rather than hiring an architect. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm probably not the best person to talk about that, but it's significant. Like AI in movies is here. This is not typing in a prompt to Chat GPT and developing a script because of it. It's not like that. But where do you draw the line, I guess?
Yeah, the accents thing is like, I don't know. Would it have changed if they weren't doing it perfectly, or like, do you
Would
really
I know the
need,
difference?
right? Do you really need to bring that in?
Right. I'm with you.
The singing one in that other movie, because didn't they
Amelia
apparently?
Perez?
Yeah,
I heard
used
something
it for
about
like
that.
singing. I don't know. That's fine for me. Because I mean, it's like mixing in
Oh, like auto
sound,
tune or whatever?
yeah, or
Yeah.
like I don't know. That one kind of doesn't bother me that much.
To me, these
but,
all seem like extreme minor offenses, but at the
like
same
you're
time,
saying,
like
yeah, it's a
if you're
slippery
opening the
slope.
well, how do you close it?
Yeah.
So, fourth storyline, the best picture race seems to be getting a little clearer. For one, well, actually, let me do this storyline first. Did you hear about Carla Sofia Gascon and how she basically nuclear bombed her Oscar chances?
Yes.
Yeah. For those who don't know, she put out some very insensitive tweets that we won't really go into the specifics of a while ago, and they resurfaced, and then she tried to kind of make herself look better through a series of I'm going to call them apologies, even though they were really making herself out to be the victim. Then she did a 60 Minutes interview that Netflix was not a part of. Netflix is the studio that made her movie, which is Amelia Perez. And they weren't involved with the 60 Minutes. And then it seems like every step of the way she's gone to make herself look better in the public light, it has gone completely the other direction.
Right.
And she's now out. Netflix has distanced themselves from her. They're not paying for her to get to the Oscars.
She's not going to the Oscars.
Oh, I didn't hear that. So
Yeah,
there you go.
pretty
I mean,
sure she's not going to be there.
yeah, I think that's a good call because it was already kind of a. Again, I don't think we're the best person to discuss whether this is right or wrong, but it was already kind of a hot topic because it's about a trans woman from Mexico who's a part of a cartel, and both the trans community and the Mexican community are really saying that this is bad representations of us, and it's directed by a French man. So there's again, I don't really want to get into that. I'm just pointing it out. So there's already some dialogue around
Also,
that.
I very much felt that Zoe Saldana was the
Oh, I did too.
protagonist of the movie. I don't know how and I thought she was great.
She's great.
I
hope
thought
she
that
still wins because she's won everything leading up to this. I
Right.
hope this doesn't affect
I
her.
thought she should have been nominated for Best Actress instead of Best Supporting.
I do too. I thought she was the lead.
that was
That's
kinda
a little bit of a category manipulation there, but what are you going to do? That stuff happens. I agree.
Anthony Hopkins and however many minutes he was in Silence of the
9
Lambs.
minutes. Yeah, so that's interesting, and that leads right into the one that I was going to talk about first, is that the best picture race is getting a little more clear. I think Amelia Perez is out now.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever going to win.
I mean, it's been winning awards, but I think it's out.
Yeah. You think Brutalist gets it?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't
think
know
that
what else.
I'm actually
Dune 2?
No, it won't be Dune 2, which it definitely should be. But it won't be Dune 2. I think Anora has a real chance.
Really?
I think Complete Unknown has a real chance.
So it doesn't sound like it's narrowing down.
Well, I
to-
mean, I've been following this stuff a little bit, and it was like 5 or 6 that had a chance. Amelia Perez is now out. Did you know that the Oscars now give like a weighted system, a ranking ballot, so that like you put Anora number 1, Complete Unknown number 2, whatever, and they weight the score? I think this is a relatively new thing. So I think in a year like this, where there are not too many clear frontrunners, if Anora is your favorite movie, how many down does Complete Unknown go? Like
Also,
something
how
like
long do
Complete
they have
Unknown
to
will
vote?
probably, I don't know. I think the voting started like a week and a half ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago. I saw it on Twitter, so I don't know when it closes.
So
but-
like all the controversy will be
That's in play.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that like maybe not everyone's favorite movie, if everybody has like Anora as their second favorite movie, that can win.
right.
Anora though, I mean, that would be an interesting Best Picture win. It's very
Good.
great. Racy is what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
A lot of old people voting for the Oscars. I don't know how much they're going for Anora.
Yeah,
I could be
but
wrong.
Everybody
I don't know.
loved Anora.
It
I
should
was
be
surprised
interesting.
by how much everybody loved Anora, even though I loved it. But,
Yeah, it was great.
You know, it was won the Palme d'Or, I believe. It did.
Should we take a quick break?
Sure.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. All right, coming back. Jack, I have a secret top 5 for you. We were going to do this last Saturday and then couldn't for whatever reasons. We don't need to get into that. It was going to be on February 8th, which was John Williams' birthday.
Okay.
So I've got a quick impromptu top 5 John Williams scores if you are ready. We don't have to do our own. We'll just talk it out together. What do you think?
Okay. I mean, Star Wars has got to be there. Do we do individual Star Wars, or is it just the whole thing?
You mean like individual scores from Star? I think we just do the movie.
Well, also, I mean, like, Force Awakens brought in a whole slew of new scores. Anyways.
Yeah, that's a good
We'll
point.
just do the
No,
whole
yeah,
thing.
let's do Star Wars.
I
I think Star Wars, were it me, I like to rank the opposite 5-1, but for me, Star Wars has got to be number 1.
Star Wars has got to be number 1.
It's just so iconic.
Got to be Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Got to be Jaws,
Yep.
because it was what it is. It's influential. It's iconic.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all iconic.
It's just
they're literally,
literally he's the
iconic.
best at what he does probably in any profession.
You think he's
Ever.
the best at what he does more than anybody else? So, like, more than LeBron James is good at basketball.
I think LeBron James has peers. Does as far as length and I mean,
right. There is no.
There's no other John Williams. I mean,
Right.
right now there are incredible movie scorists. Composers. We're going to use the word composers.
Mm-hmm.
There are wonderful movie composers throughout history that have done incredible work, but I'm talking pure output and length of the career. He's like, that's it.
I
John
mean,
Williams
he
is the
sneaks in
pinnacle.
there. You don't even know he's doing it sometimes.
Yeah.
JFK.
He did JFK. That's
He
right.
did JFK. I
Might
was
come
like,
up in this movie
Might
list.
come up. Indiana Jones. Got to be there for me.
Yeah. Well, that's already 4. Got Schindler's List.
Okay.
It's good. We got what else we got?
Jurassic-
Superman.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Far and away.
Far and away. No,
Your boy, Tom Cruise.
true.
It is a great score.
Okay.
Don't get me started.
Well,
I think I'm the one person who likes Far and Away.
Yeah, maybe. I like Far and Away. It's I couldn't tell you what the score is. I don't think it's the same iconic level.
It's Irish flute little whistle thing makes you cry every time you listen to it.
I'm gonna veto Far and Away.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. We got Jaws, Star Wars. We'll put Jaws? What, second, third?
Jaws second.
Second. I gotta go Indiana Jones.
E.T.
Oh man, E.T.
E.T. is pretty good.
I think Harry Potter is more iconic, although I like
Harry Potter is definitely in there.
Okay, Harry Potter 4, and then what are we debating? Superman, E.T.,
Indiana Jones.
JFK is awesome. I don't know if I would.
I don't know. I was just mentioning that I just didn't. I mean,
It's great. There's probably something for good. Pick one of those. Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There we
Well,
go.
that's just
So we got
because-
Jaws. No, I'm sorry. Star Wars, Jaws. Did we put Indiana Jones twice? I think we did. Indiana Jones. It might deserve to be twice.
Yeah.
Harry Potter and Jurassic Park.
E.T. I'd go E.T.
All right, I'll go
before
E.T..
Jurassic Park.
I think Jurassic Park might be a bit more iconic, especially for people that are
But it's just
our
kind of
age
a
or
couple
younger.
things,
But
it's not like
I do think E.T. is incredible. All right,
Home Alone.
this is our list. Home Alone. No, I like our list.
All right.
What is that? Star Wars, Jaws, Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, and E.T. I forgot what it was.
Me too.
All right, let's go right into the sort of the main thing. We're going to talk a little bit about the landscape of film in our first year, which is my birth year of 1985. 1985. Not the best movie year.
Not the best movie year.
We were going through the list. Not a whole lot of all-timers. I mean,
will say
there are some all-timers, but I would say the overall landscape of the movie year was not the same as some other.
I will say, in my personal making these top fives and like kind of how I was doing them, it was surprisingly easy to find 5 films that represent my upbringing. And I factored that in not choosing certain things.
Yeah.
I definitely chose some things that probably not better than other things, but were a little more influential to me, meant more to my bringing up.
Oh, yeah.
And there were a lot of
that's what the list is. We're supposed to get to know each other a little bit more.
Right, yeah.
Well, not you and me.
I mean, it's not,
Yeah. And I would say, like, I had an easy time choosing 5, but, like, if I had to go to 10 or 15, I don't know that I'm picking too many movies that I really like, if I'm being honest.
Oh, we're done for 85?
For 85 specifically, yeah. You had a really good, interesting note when we were talking about this, about the box office for 1985. Hit me with it.
It was a 17% drop in box office numbers.
From 1984.
From 1984.
There you go. That's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah. And it was kind of coming down from the golden era of 1970s. You had a lot of big like Spielberg blockbuster in like late 70s and early 80s.
And a lot of really, like the Coppola movies.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All timers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they call that New Hollywood, where directors were basically given the freedom to make whatever they wanted. And the 70s were a great time for films. I'm a jazz head. I'm not necessarily saying this is true, but I have traced the view that movies can be an economic proposition back to Jaws, since it was so successful.
Nice.
And everybody's like, oh, let's make movies that,
let's do that.
Get people into the theaters more.
Do that.
Let's do that. And also, I have this on one of my lists as one of the top storylines. Movies, studios had already been going through this process, but are going through the process of being transferred from family-owned entities to being controlled by corporations, which again ties into economic propositions.
Right.
I really think that's kind of shaped the landscape of how we look at movies today, and not, in my opinion, necessarily for the better either. But anyway, that's a discussion for down the road. Oscars that year. You ready? Out of Africa won Best Picture, Adapted Screenplay, and Best Director for Sidney Pollack. William Hurt won Best Actor for Kiss of the Spider Woman, which I don't think I've seen. I don't even know if I know what that is. And Geraldine Page won Best Actress for A Trip to Bountiful.
That I certainly don't know what it
Definitely don't know what that is. Supporting actor and actress were Don Amici for Cocoon and Angelica Houston for Prezi's Honor, respectively. There you go.
There you go.
Do you want to talk about 1991, or do you think we should go right into our 1985 list?
1985.
Okay, 1985 list. Who wants to go first?
You're going first,
I'm
Josh.
going first, definitely. All right, my top 5 for 1985. This one I had trouble with, number 5, because I was debating between 2, and I eventually went with Come and See, which is a Russian war movie. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but the director is Elim Kilmov. Mm-hmm. It is a harrowing depiction of war-torn small-town Russia during World War II. It is very effective. I was debating because I'm not necessarily queuing this up on a Tuesday night to have a good time. This is not a have a good time movie, but it is wonderful. 5 things I have for why I love this are the cinematography. It looks beautiful. It is stunning to look at. Really, really good. The acting performances are wonderful, especially the main point of view character. He's a young man who enters the army. It's he's just incredible. They do a lot of close-up. This goes back to cinematography. A lot of close-ups right to his face, so you can really see his reaction. And of course, you're seeing the devastation that's going on around him in other shots, but you're really seeing how that devastation affects him. It's really well done. I said number 3, extremely effective storytelling. It hits you, hits you hard.
Yeah.
Number two, there's like 4 incredible scenes or set pieces, if you want to call them, that are extremely memorable. I don't know if you've seen this movie. I don't know if I want to talk about it too much, but in the beginning, when the camp gets hit by the Germans, then there's another scene where the Germans sort of invade a town that he's in and commit some terrible atrocities. And then the ending scene is, again, I don't, if you haven't seen it, either you, Jack, or out in the world, I don't want to ruin it, but the ending scene under the bridge is unbelievable. Really, really good. And the number one thing I like about it is the tone. It's right from the get-go. It's got you hooked. You know what you're getting into. There are certain times where it gets really cerebral, almost surreal, and you kind of think it's going to be a different movie, and then they really hit you hard. It's a good movie. Not a fun movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Fun movie. Number 4, The Goonies. Directed by Richard Donner. Love The Goonies. It's an absolute classic. We grew up with it. It's wonderful. It's another adventure movie. We talked about that. I love adventure movies. 5 things I love about that. The chemistry from the young actors. Absolutely wonderful. They're all great, individually and as a collective group. Many of them grew up to have wonderful careers. It's just great. The dialogue, playing back and
Really
forth.
good dialogue.
Yeah, really good. Oh, that's my number 4 is the dialogue.
Yeah.
Just the way it just feels real, where they're just like constantly insulting each other,
right?
And you can tell that these guys.
Yeah,
have
I
been
wonder how
hanging
much
out.
of it was improv.
Yeah,
I mean, they're kids, so probably not that much.
I guess probably not that much, but they seem so natural saying the lines that they're saying,
right?
And they're just ripping on each other the whole time. It's just great. Number 3, I got the music. It's kind of goofy, but it's I don't always
remember the music.
Yeah, well, we might have to watch it tonight.
Yeah.
I don't always love music in the 80s or music from movies in the 80s. A lot of synths, a lot of that stuff, but it works in the Goonies, and it's
there was
great.
a lot of bad music in 1985 movies. We'll get to that.
Number 2, I already mentioned it, adventure movie, love them. Number 1, big nostalgia movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, I feel like a kid again every time I watch it.
Yeah.
I've shown it to my kids once. They were pretty young. It was not like too young, but I doubt they remember the movie too much. So we'll have to cue it up again at some point. Number 3 for me in 1985, After Hours by Martin Scorsese. What do you mean?
Didn't make my list. Let's just say that.
Oh no! After Hours. Yeah, I loved it. I hadn't seen this, so there was a couple movies that I hadn't seen and I wanted to get to for this list because you hear about them. I thought it was great from beginning to end. These are the 5 things I love. It's a fast-paced movie. Really, really like it. I love the camera work. That's my number 4.
The camera work is good.
Yeah.
It's very Scorsese.
It's very, it is. And it's not necessarily early Scorsese because he was directing movies in the 70s, but it's like, he's like, I'm going to watch this, everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily a movie you would think would have a bunch of crazy camera work because it's kind of like a one bad night movie, but he's really breaking it out, showing you all the tricks. Number 3, it's played for laughs. All this crazy shit that happens to this dude, I think it's really funny. I was laughing out loud the whole time. So was Becky. Well, maybe not as much, but Becky's my wife. And I had a great time. I just thought it was hilarious. There was one part, if you haven't seen the movie, fast forward 30 seconds. But there was one part where Rosanna Arquette's character kills herself, and I didn't like that. I was like, this is bumming me out. I'm having a great time with this movie, and it's so weird. It was germane to the story, so I can see why they did it, but it just, I don't know.
I don't know why I felt like every 15 minutes there was something bumming me out in that movie.
Well,
like that's what I didn't like about it, was that it was just like, oh, it's a comedy, and then it was just like, oh no, this is not.
There's definitely
fun
a lot of
anymore.
shit happens to
And
that
then
guy.
it
I get why
switches-
you say that.
Right? Yeah, I guess, and that's the point, is that a lot of shit happens to him.
Yeah, but for most of it, I would say the rest of it I thought was really funny, but that one wasn't. It kind of bummed me out. Number 2, love seeing Cheech and Chong in the movie. Yeah. It was just, there they are, you know,
Yeah, right.
and they were just being Cheech and Chong. It was just really, it was weird and funny. Thought that was funny. And the number 1 thing I loved about After Hours was I had no idea what was happening next. And
Right.
it really, I don't know, we watch a lot of movies. You can kind of feel like where the movie's going. And this was just like, everything that happened was stranger than the last thing.
100%.
Yeah, that was really good. My number 2 movie for 1985, the Japanese film Tempopo. Loved it. Have it on Criterion Blu-ray. Really good. Directed by, again, I'm sorry for the pronunciation, Juzo Itami. Here are the things I love about Tempopo, which are many. I love food movies. This is like a love letter to food. It's really good. And this might be, well, we might do it.
We're going to do a food.
We'll probably do a food episode. All right. All right. I'm not going to
go there.
Hey, okay. It's a food movie and I love it. Number 4, it has some really great little vignettes. There's a main storyline throughout, and there is a repeating vignette that they kind of like a sub storyline that has nothing to do with it that they come back to. And then there's probably like 3 or 4 more other just little snippets of scenes where people are showing their love for food. And it took me a while to figure out that that's what they were doing. Like by the second one, I was like, what's going on? And by the third one, I was like, oh, okay, this is making sense to me. And it's just really great. Really well done. Number 3, it's a really fun and funny movie. Like the stakes are low and I was laughing out loud. And it's just like, it's all about ramen, about this woman who's developing a ramen shop. And the characters that come in are hilarious and just like big smile. You know, it's just a movie that I have fun watching. It's really, really good. Number 2, I love process movies. Whether it's like a newspaper movie and they're showing you how everything's working and everybody's typing and, smoking cigarettes and like having banter in the office, or whether it's a detective movie where they're going over all the different pages of, newspaper clippings that they have to go through. And it's less dialogue and they're just showing you the process of something. I love process movies. And this is a good one. Zodiac
is both of those
things. I love Zodiac. Yeah, it's just a great process movie. This one's a process of cooking and making ramen, of course, but they're doing it great. It's wonderful. And number 1, it's sort of a fable, or like, it's almost like a Western. Like there's a character that shows up to help her. I won't give you too much if you haven't seen it. There's this character that shows up. First of all, he's wearing a cowboy hat in Japan.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And he kind of shows up and then he leaves when his job is done. And it seems like, it's a fairy tale or a fable or like a classic Western. And I just really like that aspect. It is a Western Japanese movie that's funny about cooking ramen.
Love it.
Sign me up.
Sign me up.
My number 1 movie for 1985, which, if I'm being honest, will be very surprised if this is not on your list, is the all-time classic, Back to the Future by Robert Zemeckis. I could list 55 things why I like Back to the Future. I'll keep it to 5. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. Eventually, we're going to do a podcast about our all-time favorite movies. So, I'm not going to tell you where it ranks. But
You've always been a very big Back to the Future fan. I mean, rightly so. It's great.
I don't care what the list is. 5, 10, 15. It's making the list, Jack.
Yeah.
Here are the things I like. Great action set pieces for a movie that, I guess you would consider it an action movie. Probably not. Great action set pieces with the skateboards in the town, with the clock tower at the end of the movie. I just love it. Gotta love me some Huey Lewis for my number 4.
Damn, love it. Yep.
Just great music. He wrote songs for the movie. They used songs that were not from the movie. It's just great. Oh yeah, he's in it too.
Yeah.
He's the high school judge of the talent show or whatever. I'm sorry, you're just too damn
the
loud.
Principal's the bald guy.
Oh yeah, right. No, he's the dean.
Okay.
Well, let's get our facts straight.
You're right.
Number 3, I love the characters, all of them. Biff, I'm just going side characters. Biff, the parents, the dean. Yes. They're all great.
Right.
Number 2, I love specifically Marty and the Doc, and specifically the performances of Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Just incredible. They're like really going for it. It's like almost cartoonishly, but it's just great.
Yeah, and it kind of created something. You know what I mean? That's a dynamic that lasted on.
I mean, Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty, yeah, of course. But just, buddy films in general,
yeah.
and Also, Michael J. Fox's character just seemed to be the new thing. I don't know. It was just kind of your everyday kind of like kid who was funny and
In
he's very
suburbia.
Peter Parker-y, actually.
Oh yeah, okay, I
Now
like
that I
it.
think about it,
Yeah.
which came before.
Cracking jokes,
Right.
Really good physical comedian too
Yeah,
throughout
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
movie. Really great. Little weird that a high school kid hangs out with a 70-year-old scientist, but
They did it. Nobody questioned it. You know.
I grew up with it. So,
Yeah.
Did you know that he was not the original? Well, he was the original choice, but he was tied up in whatever his movie or whatever his show was at the time. I can't remember. And they used Eric Stoltz, the guy that was
Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, they shot for I don't know weeks with him, and just realized this isn't it. So they had to pay the show that he was on. I can't remember. Family. I can't remember right off the top of my head. We'd have to look it up. But they had to pay the show after they fired Eric Stoltz to be like, listen, we got to have Michael J. Fox. And so he would work nights. He would work on the show and then he would fly over or drive over and work nights and do Back to the Future. And thank God they did because he's incredible.
Nice.
And it's one of the best movies ever because of that.
Man.
Number one, it's just so much damn fun. I just have so much fun watching Back to the Future. Yeah. I've seen it maybe 10,000 times and it never gets old. And it's one of my kids' favorite now that I've shown it to them. I just love it. I love them all, but the first one is like 6 cuts above the rest for me.
Right.
It's just so great. Back to the Future. Absolutely love it. Jack.
Okay.
Give me your top 5 of 1985.
My top 5 of 1985. Number 5, I got Witness here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That was the one that I was debating between Come and See.
Yeah.
Witness is great.
Witness is great. It's well, I'll just get into my things that I love about it. The pacing of that film is very interesting and really kind of like does it for me, and it works because you got the first almost half of that movie. I'd say we'll say the first act of that movie.
Yeah.
Crime thriller.
Yeah.
Straight up. It gets your heart going. It's very Harrison Ford-esque.
Yeah.
And,
feels like it's going to be an action movie.
right. Then it gets into hard romance or just like this vibey. You're out in the fields and
building barns,
which I'm going to bring up again. Just like romance, and then it goes straight back into crime thriller in the last scene of the movie. Right when you're about to be like, it's getting kind of boring, or wasn't this a crime thriller at the beginning, and now we're doing all this, and then it very satisfyingly ends. So I like the pacing a lot. It's great cinematography also.
Looks great.
Especially, the barn scene, or when they're building is it a barn? Yeah, it's a barn. Or house.
For our purposes, it's a barn.
Pretty memorable scene. I think, that one kind of goes down for everybody is just like, it's just vibey. The acting is great.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford got nominated for it finally. Yeah. Whilst still being, like I said, very Harrison Fordy. I mean, he doesn't go over the top in any sort of way.
Yeah.
He's just kind of himself. And then the kid.
I think he's underrated as an actor. Obviously, he's a huge movie star.
Yeah,
I think he's good. I think he's a good actor. I like him.
He kind of doesn't really go beyond his Harrison Ford self, but
no. And when he does, I don't necessarily like that. But.
Right. And the kid's great too, and kid's never annoying.
Yeah.
He's quiet. He's funny at times. He's cute. He's solid. Child actor. He went on to do things when he was older. I couldn't tell you what though, but
neither can I.
Yeah, and then I got the ending scene. Ending scene is
good action suspense scene.
Yep. And it ends literally with, sorry for spoilers, but it was 1985, so, but ends with literally Harrison Ford telling the main bad guy, to give me his gun, and he does. Mind you, there's a bunch of Amish people coming to save him, and there
Pitchforks.
2 people have died. So they're
Quite gruesomely, I might add.
quite gruesomely via corn, death via corn kernels.
Yeah.
Which
Silo.
Or silo.
No,
maybe it's
yeah.
grain. Maybe it's not corn.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the specifics.
Kills him though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Harrison Ford literally is just like, give me a gun. And he gives it to him. It's
good Harrison Ford.
Great. Thank you. Witness. Number 4, and this one was tough because I think it was technically 84 briefly, but it was major release 85.
Oh, okay. We'll count it.
If you type into Google release date, it says 85.
Oh, okay. That counts.
Yeah. I'm going Blood Simple.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, this didn't come up on my list. I must have looked at a
Yes,
different list.
sir.
Oh, that would have
Yes,
made
sir.
my list. Great
Coen
movie.
Brothers. It's a great introduction to the Coen Brothers world. I mean, it's classic them. It's
Is that their first movie? No.
yeah.
Is it? We'll look it up later.
Um,
I'll look it up.
yeah, Blood Simple. Classic Coen Brothers movie. Movie based on misunderstandings, confusion, mistakes, via crime. It's hard to watch at times because people are just kind of dumb in that movie.
Oh, it's
simple, if you will.
Yeah, it is their first movie.
There you go.
It is hard to watch at times. It gets dark.
Yeah, it gets very dark.
It gets really dark.
The whole movie is pretty dark.
Literally and figuratively.
I got Emmett Walsh, very iconic villain or whatever he is. He's just great to watch.
He's
a lot of really good lines. He's the
bounty hunter, assassin.
Yeah, he's actually
the bigger guy.
Right. He's actually a private detective.
Oh, there you go.
Who also can kill people if you want.
Yeah.
Right. He offers that at one point.
The guy that leaves the lighter behind or whatever, right?
Yes, he leaves his lighter behind. That's his one mistake that he makes.
Man.
Come on, man.
Clean it up, dude.
A lot of really great lines. Yeah, the writing in this film is fantastic. There's this one shot where it's like a transition shot where a newspaper is thrown at out of a car at the door, like someone's going by throwing newspapers, old school style, and it's like Frances McDormand and John Getz. They're like kissing or embracing in like the doorway, and then the newspaper comes in the background. It's like, what is going on? And then it hits the door and it transitions to something else, and it's just like, why did they do that? But it also, holy crap, that was awesome. Very Coen Brothers.
It's great.
Number 3, I got The Goonies.
Love it.
You kind of pretty much said all of my top things.
Love it.
The only thing that we didn't really talk about was Oregon. It's a really
Is
good,
it Oregon?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Coastal Oregon doesn't really show up a lot in movies.
And it should.
Because
Pacific
Goonies
Northwest,
proves that it's
beautiful.
Pacific Northwest is beautiful, and Goonies is, honestly, if you did top 5 Pacific Northwest movies, it would probably be number 1.
I can't think of many off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm sure we could do it though. But yeah, child acting is great. The performances are great. Pirates in movies also
Fantastic.
Not very well represented.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a little pirate movie in there.
Where do you land on the do you remember the octopus? Where do you land on the octopus?
Okay, this is what's it called?
Urban myth?
No,
It's not a myth.
Mandela effect sort of thing for me. Because I always remember this being a thing, but I don't know if I ever actually saw a cut with the octopus in it. But I remember it being a thing throughout watching it.
You might have when we were really young, because I feel like it used to. Maybe it is for me too. I don't know. But I feel like I've seen it, and it used to be on the old VHS, which of course I haven't seen in years.
Right.
And it wasn't on every. It's not on the Blu-ray now.
Really, it's not in deleted scenes or anything.
Well, I didn't check.
We'll
Might
have to
be.
check.
I'll have to check.
Excuse me. Yeah, so I don't know about the octopus. I can picture it in my mind, but I think it's just a made up picture.
Right.
But they should put it in. There should be an octopus.
We want the octopus.
Yeah.
The octopus
Unless it was
cut.
really bad.
It probably was.
My number 2 film of 1985 is Room with a View.
Wow.
I know. High up there.
I'll say, didn't make my long list.
Didn't make your long list. I know.
Don't tell our mother.
Neither did whatever After Hours, though.
Oh,
Miles,
fair.
man, that movie was trash.
Yes.
Room with a View is one of our parents' favorite films.
guess.
I would say, and this is one of my top 5 reasons for liking it, is it was interesting to have my parents could like quote it. They always would bring it up, and it was always kind of like, is this movie good? And I feel like when I was like young, I would get glimpses of it and be like, this is a boring romance movie. And then I saw it when I was like older a little bit. I guess you maybe you were out of the house or something.
I must have
seen it
been.
a few times now.
I've only seen it the one time.
And
I'll rewatch it.
And now I like it. And I'm like, oh, this is super solid. And I don't like, there aren't a whole lot of, romance films that I would say are very influential. That's probably not true.
Yeah, you go through them, and I actually do like romance movies, so I
Yeah.
don't know why I'm... And it's like weird because when they like a movie, especially our dad, when they like a movie, it's like, oh, I really want to like this movie because he says he doesn't like movies, but he actually does.
He does.
But it just didn't land for. It was just well. Anyway, this is your list, but
Right.
it just didn't land for me.
I would say that, like I said, their influence on me is definitely one of the reasons I like it. I like that my parents like this movie, and I think it kind of like taught me that movies can, essentially be different for different people, and you learn to like things by association.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes the atmosphere or how you're feeling in a given viewing affects what you think about the movie.
It's slow also, which is nice. You're in the Italian countryside, and you got to take it for what it is. That's another one of my big things of this movie is location is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's like wherever you are, whether it's in the fields or in their little like cottages or whatever,
Yeah.
Denholm Elliott, I got on my reasons I love this film. Our boy Marcus Brody. He's a supporting actor.
Does anyone speak Ancient Greek?
And he's got a great line. Here's where the birds sing. Here's where the sky is blue.
Oh.
It's super epic, and it comes in like the second scene of the movie. I'm like, oh my god, really good writing. He's really good in it. Helena Bonham Carter is great in it. She's not some creepy witch like she is in every other movie. She's pretty
straightforward, really.
Pretty straightforward. She's a little sassy. She's a little, music's great. Opera, Puccini. That was another thing with our parents. They used to play the soundtrack, blast opera, even though they're not opera people. And then Back to the Future is my number 1.
Just great.
Yeah. And you covered everything.
We don't need to relitigate it.
Right.
Back to the Future is awesome. If you have not seen Back to the Future, number 1, shame on you.
Oh, one thing I do want
Number
to say.
2, go see it.
Right. Is it was pretty influential as far as time travel films and, rules. People reference Back to the Future as a way to do time travel.
Yeah, well, we just watched, speaking of Endgame, we talked about it earlier, but we just watched Endgame again the other night because James, my son, picked it for our family movie night. We just take turns picking movies. That's what he picked. And they reference it like 37 times about how it doesn't work, quite frankly. But it was just interesting to time travel. All right. I guess let's take another break before we hit 1991, and then we'll move into that.
Cool.
All right. We'll come right back. All right, coming back. We're going to move into 1991 now as a movie year. I didn't have too much to talk about 1991 as a movie year other than...
Beginning of the 90s.
Beginning of the 90s. 90s are great, man.
90s are great.
I feel like the 90s were the pinnacle of movies being important as a culture and us having the best sort of how do I say this? Combination of art house indie movies and big blockbusters that everybody really liked.
Right.
And it was before we all had phones in our pockets to distract us. It was before reality TV. It was before the internet. So it was just like movies were it.
Right.
And they really nailed it. There's so many good years. We'll probably, I mean, I could see us doing every year of the 90s as 100%. A top 5. So
/ we'll probably do a top 5 90s films.
Wow. That would be a hard one to make.
Top
10. Top 30. So what I have, we already hit the no internet thing. What I have for storylines is first ever animated movie got nominated for Best Picture in a movie that we'll probably talk about, so I'm not going to mention it. Jack Palance. I don't really know how to. Jack Palance won for City Slickers in his Best Supporting Actor, and he's been in movies for decades, and he was big in westerns in the 50s and 60s. And he did a I don't know if you remember this, but he did a one-handed push-up before his Oscar acceptance speech at like 135 years old.
Nice.
So there's my guy. And then
love City Slickers.
City Slickers is great. Does it make your list? Well, no, don't tell me.
It didn't.
Me neither. But I do love it.
Me too.
And then the other thing I have was Silence of the Lambs pretty much dominated the Oscars. It won the Big Five. Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, and Screenplay. In this case, Adapted Screenplay. Jack, can you name the other 2 movies that have also won the Big Five?
I can't name both, but I can name One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, 1975. That was
the other one was like black and white.
Yeah, I had never seen it. It's called It Happened One Night. It was in like the late 30s or something. Yeah. So didn't know that one. But Cuckoo's Nest was 75, which was an all-time great movie year for Best Picture. Jaws was in that one. So tough beat for me, but Cuckoo's Nest is great.
Checks out.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to start or do I want to start for 1991?
It is the year of my birth, so I will start.
Take it away.
All right, number 5. And I want to go back and I want to say I've decided to choose movies that represent kind of my childhood.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Man, do your thing.
I'm doing my thing.
Good.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Coming in at number 5.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. Great action adventure. We got a thing for Robin Hood.
We definitely do.
Yeah.
Really great action.
Really great action.
Really great action.
And then this is one of my points. I mean, you got everything you're looking for. I mean, I love that it starts with the Crusades. I like that we're over there and we get that whole thing. We get action over there.
I might push back a little bit about that, but that's fine.
Yeah. Get a little history. I mean, I can't name another. Well, actually, no. I haven't seen some of the newer Robin Hood movies, which
they are not good.
I do think that they do some Crusade stuff in them. Doesn't matter. I like the Crusades. But yeah, then you got all the action in the trees. Yes.
It's good. Well, also the director's cut. Super good.
Yeah, you've told me about that. I haven't seen the director's cut.
I got it on Blu-ray. I'll let you borrow it.
Orlando Bloom. Fighting in the trees. Love it. Fighting in the castle. Love it.
Yep.
Yeah. Action's great. You got Alan Rickman. One of his better roles.
Absolutely on fire.
He is. I didn't rank it on this one, but he is my number one reason I think that I like this movie.
I would agree. Well, that and the action, but he is just great.
I love Morgan Freeman as supporting. I love that character. He's funny. He's badass. He's Morgan Freeman.
Kind of before Morgan Freeman really took off, too.
Right. Yet he's still the same age as Morgan Freeman is in all of his movies.
Morgan Freeman was the same age for like 40 years. He's old now.
This is 3 years before Shawshank, I want to say.
94, yeah. Then he had 7 right after Shawshank, and like all of a sudden became like an A+ lister.
Oh, music.
Yeah, the score.
The score is super good. Yeah.
John Williams didn't do that. No, he didn't.
No, it would have come up just now.
Right.
Wonder who did.
My guess is Howard Shore. Whoa. I'll look it up. You're doing a thing.
But why a spoon, sir? Because it's dull, you idiot. It'll hurt more.
Michael Kamen. Damn.
Michael Kamen. That checks out. Yeah. Robin Hood, Princess Eve. Number 4, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, there we go. That's
our nominated for Best Picture,
Yeah.
first animated film ever. One of the classic, princess Disney films, which, aren't necessarily my favorite, but it was like right there at the beginning of the 90s. It might have been one of the first ones of those Aladdin and Lion King and kind of the golden era there of Disney animated films. Music is incredible. Not only the, singing and the musical
aspect of it,
but the score is haunting and beautiful and one of the better scores.
It's great.
It's used a lot, actually, in a lot of. It's one of those that you hear and you're like, which one is that? And it's Beauty and the Beast. They use it in a lot of.
It's always
what's the word I'm looking for?
Montages?
Yes, thank you. Montages. Beast got a lot of funny one-liners.
Yeah.
Love the dad. And the Shakespearean chorus of the candlestick and the clock and all of them just kind of it's a good dynamic.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. Number 3, Terminator 2.
Oh,
Which I'm guessing was going to be higher on your list because Josh loves Terminator 2.
Number
3, Terminator 2. LA movie.
Great
LA movie. I put this down as one of my top things of the movie, even though it is one of the reasons that as a child I wouldn't want to watch this. Okay, it's a pretty scary movie. It borderlines horror, I guess you might want to say.
It has all, yes.
But like doesn't really sell itself in that way. So as a kid, I'd be too young watching it and be like, I'm terrified right now.
It's
scary. I wasn't expecting that. But specifically the nuclear bomb dream sequence. Where she turns into a friggin' skeleton on the other side of the fence. I just remember being like, I did not know this was something that I needed to be worried about in my life. And will this happen tomorrow? And do I check the newspapers to make sure that this isn't going to happen today?
Oh, man.
It's kind of, I guess it's borderline apocalypse movie, but not really. Doesn't really get there.
Well, I mean, it talks about it.
Action movie in general, one of the better.
Fantastic.
So many good sequences. The mall sequence I love.
Yes.
The chase. I mean, that's like, I guess the whole movie is kind of a chase, or at least the first 30 minutes of it are all just like kind of one thing.
Yeah.
I love the dynamic, and I think it would be a top 5 of this of kind of the big invincible guy and the little person who is being saved, between him and the kid. I think it's a good, not buddy film in that way, but it's I love that dynamic.
Yeah.
And they do it so well. Villain. Well, I mean, I'm not even talking about. Yeah. Schwarzenegger's, the actual Terminator he's not a villain in it. He's the good guy, but he's villainous. He's the villain in the first one, kind of.
Not kind of.
But the cop is just.
The T-1000.
T-1000, thank you. Is just incredible.
It's
really good computer animation, as CGI, I should say.
Well, yeah, that was a huge point of the movie back then. I mean, Cameron as a director,
right?
Do we say it was directed by James Cameron?
I haven't even brought up James Cameron.
James Cameron as a director is always kind of at the forefront of technology. Once he basically had the budget, basically from here on, he had the budget to do what he wanted to do, and he's always been at the forefront of technology in movies. I mean, Avatar and all those, Titanic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was like really incredible visuals. Really, the first time that
get nominated for.
I'm sure it did. It probably won because it was one of the first times they used computer animation in a real way for a big movie.
And they did it excellently.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It still looks good.
Yeah. I mean, turning your arm into knives and whatever you want. Yeah, it's great. Okay, number 2, I got Hook.
Whoa!
Big film for my childhood.
Yeah.
Loved Hook. Loved Spielberg in general, and this
Yeah.
is just him doing whatever he wants.
Yeah.
The production design I kind of lump in with directing, but they were firing on all cylinders there.
I think Hook at number 2 is a semi-hot take in the film world at large.
No way, man. nothing I don't like about this movie.
I love it too. This kind
of
of goes in what we were talking about earlier, where like when you see a movie,
right.
like if we saw Hook for the first time now, not sure it lands.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
But, I'm thinking of it. I don't know what would land. Because
It's an adventure movie.
John Williams' score. We didn't even talk about Hook.
Man.
Did we?
I don't remember.
Good score. I loved Rufio. That's on my list. And
Solid set of hair.
the very great hair. The food fight scene.
Oh yeah.
And when you first go into the skateboard. Yeah.
Rufio.
So good. So many good sequences there. The Shmi Captain Hook dynamic
Bob
is
Hoskins.
excellent. Bob Hoskins and Justin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Incredible acting performances, and they just work so well together. They're both well, I guess Bob Hoskins isn't unrecognizable, but almost. I mean, like,
Yeah.
That's like, that does it for me. And then Robin Williams.
It's great.
It wouldn't be a movie without him. I mean, I wonder, like, if that was the only person that they were considering, or if it was
He's
planning.
like, once
on
they
being
got
another
Robin
movie.
Williams, everything else kind of fell into place. I mean,
Right.
you could probably say the same thing about Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook, because he's amazing.
Yeah.
But like, he's like the peak of the mountain, and then everything else falls into place after we get Robin Williams for that.
Yeah. My number 1 film of 1991 is Silence of the Lambs,
Yeah.
of course. This is kind of in probably my favorite genre, which I would say is thrillers, if not crime thrillers, if not like detective stories. It's, it's all of that rolled into one. Some people consider it horror. I don't know what you think there of that.
I don't know that I would consider it horror. The last sequence is very horror-y, but
This is one of my top 5 favorite things of this movie, and the third ending scene of our whole discussion today.
oh yeah, good, yeah, right,
What were my first 2? Witness and Whiplash.
yeah,
Silence of the Lambs, the best of the 3 there, as far as
Hands
ending
down.
scenes. Makes the movie. Anthony Hopkins is just iconic. One of the better performances.
Yeah.
Memorable.
top notch.
Jodie Foster is incredible. Both of them won.
Anthony Hopkins is like, I mean, if you took a poll of the public, say what's the most memorable performance of the last, I don't know, say 50 years,
Yeah.
I would think if you give them 5 choices, I would think the majority of people would probably
And the
put
funny
Anthony
thing is,
Hopkins on there.
people who haven't even seen it are going to say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like people
in
know
the
it.
pop culture
Yeah,
now.
right. He's only in the movie for 60 minutes or something.
I think I might have that as a question.
Nice.
Maybe not. I don't remember.
Jonathan Demme.
Yeah, great.
Great.
Really gets up in the characters, the camera
yeah,
up in the
you're-
characters' faces.
You're with Clarice.
especially
the
Clarice,
whole
right?
time. It's
Yeah.
just
Right in there.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go.
It's a great list, especially the Silence of the Lambs part.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Okay,
91, good year. Definitely
really
had to
great
leave
year.
some things off.
really great year, and we're gonna go over the just missed. There's gonna be a significantly larger number of movies for 1991 than 1985.
Right.
All right, here's my list. So I'm going to cheat a little bit because you put one of the movies, in the interest of talking about a different movie, I am taking my number 4 movie out, shifting my number 5 movie up to number 4, not in reality because my ranking is my ranking, but I do want to talk about a different movie, and I'm taking what would have been my number 6 and putting it number 5. Does that make sense?
I followed along with all of
Okay, I just want to. I don't want. I mean, let's full
It's
disclosure.
controversial.
It's controversial. Full disclosure, my number 4 movie also would be Beauty and the Beast, and it's wonderful, and I love it. And it was like a big sick day movie when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But we already talked about it, and we're going to overlap on a couple movies on the list. So I'm trying to get another movie in there. And the other movie that I did not prepare 5 things I liked about it was Point Break. I love Point Break. It's a great action movie directed by Catherine Bigelow, who does awesome action suspense movies. I'll just think about 5 things I like it right now. First of all, love Keanu. Young Keanu, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Love the dynamic of Keanu and Swayze together as like the guy that's trying to catch the criminal, but they both sort of respect each other. And that became like a trope for other movies, specifically in the 90s, like Heat, things like that, where you know you got to catch this guy. He's out there doing bad things, but you also kind of respect him in the same way.
Right.
Love that it's a bank robbing surfer movie. Awesome.
Enough said.
Love the action sequences, specifically the bank robbing sequences. Love the masks that they use, the president mask that they use for the bank robbing sequences. And what's one more thing I love about that movie? Swayze. Did I mention Swayze? I love Swayze.
Yeah.
He's great.
Right.
Really good athlete.
Yeah.
So is Keanu. In fact, there's a football scene in that movie. Great stuff.
The Replacements.
Yeah, don't get me started. All right, so that's my new number 5. My new number 4 is What About Bob?
Good one.
I love What About Bob. It's
one.
hilarious.
It is hilarious.
So I have Crazy Dreyfus as my number 5 reason. He's absolutely on fire, just going full bore. It's wonderful. It Looks Great is my number 4. Like for a movie that's like a weird, quirky family comedy. Like this is
Rhode Island.
Well, I don't know about that. It could be. I don't know.
But it's like there. It's up in
East Coast sort of lake town getaway community sort of thing. And this is one of those things where, you know, when we all watch these movies as kids, we're watching on VHS. But when we all have these new awesome TVs and Blu-rays now, and you put this one on Blu-ray, and it like the lake sparkles. You know, the trees look great. I mean, it just looks great for a weird, quirky family comedy. I have 90s comedies in general.
Yeah.
They don't make them like they used to.
No.
Comedy's been kind of not a thing as much, really, since post Judd Apatow era.
Right.
So this is a weird one, but I don't love these type of movies in general where they're kind of gaslighting a character and terrible things are happening to him, and everyone around him's like, "You're crazy. How could you not love Bob?" But like, even though Dreyfuss's character is an asshole,
right?
He's still no one around him sees the crazy things that are happening to him.
Yeah.
That usually bothers me. Maybe it's because that Dreyfuss is an asshole in this movie. It doesn't, but it's somehow funny while the gaslighting is happening.
Yeah.
Like the Meet the Parents type thing. Meet the Parents is good, but like, I don't love watching that movie because it's just like everyone's making him feel crazy. And my number 1 thing is Bill Murray.
Yes.
I don't even need to say anymore. Bill Murray's great. We should do a Bill Murray episode.
We will do a Bill Murray episode.
Just great. So funny. All right. Now my number 3 movie is JFK. Yep. I love JFK.
Yes.
It is very long, though it doesn't feel like it. Kind of going into that brutalist topic we had. It is flying by. The pacing is crazy.
The pacing is insane.
Yeah. Do I have that? Oh, yeah. Well, that was my number 1. Fast pace for such a long movie. It's crazy.
It just doesn't stop.
I mean, you got to be paying attention because they're going over a lot of different things.
Yeah. I had it on recently and like got up to go to the kitchen or something. It was like, oh, what just happened? They were in a different place.
It is an active movie experience. So that was my number 1. I'll just, I'm not really ranking them. I'll just go with it. You know me, I'm a conspiracy guy.
Yeah.
I don't love all conspiracies, but the conspiracies I like them fervently. And this is a fun one, and it's all about the conspiracy. They might take a few liberties with the facts, from what I understand, but it's a fun conspiracy movie. Number 4 or number 3 or wherever I'm at, Best Costner?
Best Costner?
I don't know. Question mark?
I don't think so.
I mean, just like as an actor?
He's maybe, I mean, I like him in it, but he's pretty Costner-y.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty Costner in everything, I think, is my overall point of that question.
Yeah.
I should be clear. I like a lot of Kevin Costner's movies. I don't necessarily love him as an actor. He's a great movie star. Like, he shows up.
Right.
He does his thing. I like it. I like when he's in it.
I think best Costner's got to be Field of Dreams. I think he's
Oh,
actually
yeah. No, you're
pretty
probably
good
right.
in
He's
that.
good in that. No, yeah, you're probably right. I think I got a little over my
Also,
skis there.
Robin Hood and JFK in the same year.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Pretty crazy.
Wow.
And I'd say they're pretty similar levels of his acting, honestly.
Okay, I don't know if I would agree with that. I don't think he's great in Robin Hood.
I don't think he's cracked.
All right, well, whatever. Anyway, moving on. I guess we're gonna go no on the best Costner answer. Crazy amount of cameos I have.
Man,
It's like all of Hollywood, all of like recent, like, well, not recent for 1991,
Right, yeah.
contemporary for 1991, and classic Hollywood cameos playing one scene. A lot of them,
and a lot of those that guy sort of things.
yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah,
It's great, really fun to see all those people. My number 2 movie for 1991 is Silence of the Lambs.
wow.
That's right.
Number 2.
Number 2. It's an all-time movie, but you kind of alluded to it. One of my actual crazy all-time favorites is number 1. You pretty much hit everything. I think the score is great. You didn't mention that. It's a really effective, really simple score. The slow build to the tension. It's like they're twisting a rubber band the whole time until it releases.
Oh, I know the big thing that I didn't mention, which I'm sure you're going to get to.
Is it the crazy set piece in the middle of the movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Like 20 minutes of that film that just make it.
Yeah. It's you mentioned that the last scene is like one of the best scenes.
Right.
It's one of the best last scene. That you're dead right about that. But it's not the best scene in the movie for me.
I cannot believe I didn't bring this up.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're talking about it now.
That sequence in the middle of the movie is one of my favorite 20-minute, 12-minute, whatever stretches is of my movies, maybe my life.
Yeah.
It is just incredible. I remember I just showed it to Becky for the first time because she was always hesitant to watch it. And I was like, it's not that scary. Don't freak out. Finally, we watched it. And this is months ago, but fairly recently. She loved it. And that scene was happening. If you haven't seen the movie, shame on you, but fast forward 2 minutes because I'm going to talk about the best sequence of the movie here. You're constantly waiting. Everyone's talking about Lecter the whole time as this like mythical figure that cannot be understood.
He is the most dangerous person who ever existed.
And you think it can't
/
possibly...
the smartest.
Right. And you think it can't possibly live up to that. But when that sequence happens, first of all, when he breaks out with the guards and basically eats that dude's face.
Eats his face.
Then you fast forward to a couple minutes. They got the elevator going up and down, and oh my God, what's going on with the elevator? We got to go up and check on it. The SWAT team goes up.
Yeah.
They go up there, and you hear the cop go, "Oh God!" And they see the guy is strung up 20 feet in the air with his entrails hanging out and some sort of like
Butterfly.
religious art
Yeah, he's Butterfly.
piece. Yeah, it's crazy. Then it goes to the whole part where he's on the they get the guy with the torn up face. They get him in the stretcher. We know who that is later on. And then there's the whole part where they find Lecter, who they think is Lecter, on the elevator, and they shoot him in the leg, and all that stuff. And that all happens. And then you just think Lecter escaped, and it's unbelievable. And Becky goes, "Man, that was crazy." And I'm just sitting there like making a face like, "Oh, ooh." And she's like, What's happened?" And then they cut to the ambulance, and she's like, "What's going on?" And then he sits up, takes the guy's face off.
Off the face.
Oh my! And she was just like, "Oh!" And it's just, I mean, I've seen it 50 times, and I watched that scene on YouTube when I just want to be freaked out, quite frankly. And we had to pause the movie and like take a break, and she had to take a couple breaths. It was just like, and not in a bad way. She loved it, but it was just like, you can't. It's just one of the all-time sequences. Again, maybe top 20 minutes of my movie viewing fandom, maybe my life. It's so great. Number one,
agree.
Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
There you go.
You knew. I mean, had to be. It's It's a sci-fi movie. It has horror elements, but it's my favorite pure action movie of all time.
Yeah.
I just love it. You hit it all. The effects, great. It's better than the first in pretty much every conceivable way. I have the score again. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Really good and effective. You mentioned the action sequences; they're all wonderful. The LA chase scene, the LA River chase scene. There's also the semi that flips over. There's also the helicopter sequence where the T-1000 jumps in the helicopter sequence, and the sequence where that's at the end of the sequence where they have to break into the lab and steal the arm and the chip or whatever.
The stuff at the lab is great.
Oh, it's all great. Yeah. And then I have Arnold. Underrated actor. I mean, like,
didn't really have to do much.
He didn't, but he does it really effectively.
Well.
And there's a couple scenes where he's like make a connection with the kid, which I think you were with Furlong, which I think you were alluding to. What those scenes are really good, and that relationship is really good. Like the scene where he high fives him or teaches him hasta la vista or whatever. Those are all great, and it's simple. He's not doing a whole lot, but it's great. Yeah. So. I love it.
You know what? The bomb shelter scene going down where all the guns are hidden.
Yeah.
Sick.
Miguel's bomb shelter.
Yeah.
All right. Those are our top 5 movies of 1991, and we had a great time.
We did have a great time.
We encourage you to make your own top 5 list of 1991 and 1985, and really, I mean, if you want, tell us how we're wrong. Tell us what we forgot.
Yeah.
Be nice about it.
Will you put Prince of Thieves on your list? Or won't you?
Will you put A Room with a View on your list, or won't you?
Don't think you will.
Don't tell our mother I said that. All right, do you want to hit up some honorable mentions?
Yeah.
All right, this is what I got for 1985. Tell me if you got any more. Commando, great action Arnold movie. Mm-hmm. Speaking of. Clue.
That would definitely be in mine.
We watched Clue a lot.
I don't know why I liked Clue so much. But
it's a good movie.
Right. Not a big fan of the ending.
You mean the 17 endings?
Right.
Fair. Well, it's a nod to the game because it's different. All right.
Right.
Pale Rider, good Clint Eastwood movie.
Nice.
I mean, good Western. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, not really my thing, but I mean, it was definitely a thing. And I feel like that was Tim Burton's first movie, I think.
Burton, yeah.
So he became a thing. And the one that I am kind of embarrassed I didn't get to and haven't seen is Ron.
Yeah, true.
The Kurosawa movie.
King Lear.
Yeah, King Lear representation. So if I think I just hit my microphone. If we ever do this again or revisit lists, I will see Ron by the time I come out with that and see if it cracks the top 5. 1991. I'm just going to plow right through these. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Thelma and Louise, Ridley Scott. Boys in the Hood, huge movie.
Yeah, that one made my long list for sure.
Point Break, Prince of Thieves, we both mentioned. City Slickers, we mentioned briefly. Rocketeer, I almost put on my top 5 movie experiences because this is pre-Jack. I was really young, but I do remember they took me to the Grand Lake and then Fenton's Ice Cream afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah. My Own Private Idaho, White Fang.
Ooh, Ethan Hawke.
Barton Fink. Yeah, Ethan Hawke. Barton Fink is a good one. Fisher King and New Jack City, which I have not seen, but was a big movie.
Fisher King's good.
Yeah. Anything else you want to hit? I have one more.
Fisher King and Hook, same year.
Robin Williams, yeah.
Interesting. I think he got nominated for Fisher King.
I believe he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
year.
trying to think. Did Jeff Bridges get nominated?
I think so.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Anyway, I got a couple questions for you. Anything else you want to hit before we kind of wrap this up?
No.
All right.
Bring it on.
I have 2 trivia questions. One from Back to the Future and one from Silence of the Lambs.
Hit me.
Your Silence of the Lambs questions. How many scenes did Clarice Starling and Hannibal Lecter share with each other?
Share with each other. 2.
4. I didn't actually fact check this, but there are 2 scenes where he's in
On the phone count?
That's what I was wondering.
Okay.
And by my count it does, but I'm not sure if I'm right about this. But there are 2 scenes in the first prison, psych ward.
Right.
Then there's the scene where she actually tells him the Silence of the Lambs story, or the Screaming of the Lambs story.
Is
where
that
he's
also? Where is that?
That's in the jail where he
that's-
breaks out of.
Yeah. Oh, duh.
And then I have the phone scene. I'm
phone
pretty
at the
sure
end.
at the end. I'm pretty sure that's it. What was the name of the dance that Marty's parents are supposed to share their first kiss?
What do you mean, like the type of dance?
The name. There was an actual specific name
of the
of the high school
the ball?
dance of the ball. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's called a dance, but it is a nautical name, sort of. No.
Under the Sea?
Oh, you got close. Enchantment Under the Sea dance. You got close. I thought you were floundering there, but you got it. Oh, good job. What?
Get it? Floundering?
Oh, because nautical?
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good. All right. Well, that's the High Fives podcast. We appreciate you listening. Thanks so much. Again, we encourage you to do your own list. Tell us how we're wrong. And if this was fun to listen to, we've got a bunch more ideas coming. Let us know.
At you. Do we give them previews of what might be next?
Should we? Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Our plan for next week, or later this week, or whenever we release this podcast, is our 2024 in review. Yeah. So if the Oscars have not happened, we'll kind of do more Oscars stuff. We'll go over a bunch of sequences and fun things that we liked about movies in 2024, and then we'll give our top 5 movies of the year of 2024. We'll probably also review and compare it to 2023 as well. Ooh. So that's our plan. Thanks so much for listening. If you liked it, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.